and that entailed driving or attending to people in the back of the ambulance. Sometimes it was as a result of a 999 call if they've been involved in a road accident or any kind of emergency. Taking people to hospital, routine appointments, also taking people to hospital in an emergency situation, or rather responding to 999 calls. And that could be anything: road accidents, injuries, fights, anything, any emergency. There wasn't a typical day. No day was ever the same. Some days were very quiet, some days were very busy, but there was never a typical day all night. And because we worked shifts, it was different. There weren't many women at that time, and it was very different and very exciting, and just different, just very different. I think a lot of other people's ideas are it's very glamorous, but it's not glamorous. It's hard work, with some horrible things that you see sometimes. Obviously death, lots of death, unfortunately. Burns, loss of life, really. Loss of life. And the whole story is that one day I was on my way. We were given a shout in Hampshire. I wasn't driving. We couldn't get to this lane because the lane was inaccessible. A chap turned up on these hunter horses. Well, I'm not a horse rider, and it soon became apparent I wasn't really. So the horse was spooked, and off I went, to the point where, after a long period of time, there was a car with a little man sat in it looking petrified, but I'm led to believe that I jumped the car. Anyway, I did come off the horse, and the little man got out and asked if I was okay. I think I looked worse than the patient at the end of the day. Really, lesson learned. But there you go. We went to some woods, and we had assumed it was somebody with a back injury. It was the interpretation of the call, I think. We were told no, they can't feel anything, so it was a back injury, but in actual fact, couldn't feel anything meant he couldn't feel a pulse because he had a chainsaw in his head.
What do you do as a job now?
I am a manager of a women's refuge. It means that I manage an establishment, well, it's a charity that owns a property that houses ladies and children who are fleeing from different types of domestic abuse, domestic violence, or it could be cultural based issues that they're fleeing from. It's very different nowadays. For example, the vehicles of electronic lifts in now. We didn't have any of that, so we used to have to lift people.
Do you do anything now to keep your adrenaline up?
Yes, I kickbox. Been doing that for 3 years, and my next belt will be a black belt. So they say never go back, don't they? Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a hero.